Why, hello there. Welcome to the Thursday show. Here in the house known as Odoroki, in the room known as Away, in an undisclosed location. One of the members of this bucket. Undisclosed location here in San Antonio, Texas. Now, an amusing thing is right over there, which is about 8 feet from where I'm sitting, is a wall. And on the other side of that wall are people on a ladder. And they are applying caulking to seal the gaps between the planks inside the siding outside. Over there. They're also hammering nails that have worked their way loose and are sticking out a bit from the siding. Because this house was built in 2002, so it is almost 20 years old. Interesting and weird bit of trivia. Still newer than the house we had in California. For one... THUD bucket, yes. Autocorrect is both a benefit and a bane. I didn't change the title of the song of this one. You know, I changed all the other stuff and I did not change the episode title. All that fits we play. That's all there is to it. Why? Because, well, it's what we do here. So, yes, so in the event that y'all hear rattling, thudding, crashing noises, or, and I'm really hoping not to hear a high-pitched scream, it's because there are people on a ladder doing things to the siding outside. Let's do a song, shall we? Do what brought us to the dance. I got to play this live last weekend for some folks. They were deeply entertained. I like that. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? He's 4 foot taller, and he's got brown or sandy hair. And he has a hat and tankard, and he wears these great big boots. And he wanders around in a loincloth or William doublet suit. one of the things I'm discovering here is, as I'm playing this, the way that this thing is held up, propped against my substantial abdomen when I'm sitting, is different than when I'm playing it on a strap. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? It's a unique individual, no one else can compare. For he always sings or juggles as he goes about the town, and he always has a great big sword that can narrow it down. Sprang for the FX package, I like that. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? If you saw him coming down the lane, you'd have to stop and stare. Don't recall if it's pickles, pretzels, or if it's popcorn that he sells, but you can hear him coming from a mile away on account that he wears bells. Jingle bang, jingle, like a Morris dancer in a minefield. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? He's the coolest guy in all the world, I truly do declare. If you saw my bud in person, then you'd know of whom I speak, for he dresses like a pirate, now isn't that unique? Yep, pirate. With pointy ears. Elf pirate. And gossamer wings. Fairy elf pirate. And a kilt. Scottish fairy elf pirate. And horns. Demon Scottish fairy elf pirate. And fangs. Vampire demon Scottish fairy elf pirate. And leather goggles. With gears on them. Steampunk vampire demon Scottish fairy elf pirate. And big furry boots. Barbarian steampunk vampire demon Scottish fairy elf pirate. Very proud of that one. And a foxtail. Nobody knows why. Do you know my friend from Faire? I saw him over there. His name is Wolf or Hawk or Raven, or I think it might be Bear. Well, we've never met outside of Faire, but I'm sure he'll be along. Hey, wait a minute. I'm talking about you. I guess I'll end the song. There we go. There we have it. You know, Kay, you have been threatening to do this. And I've actually had people ask if I should have like a picture or a portrait or a drawing or to show people my friend from Faire at the end of the song. And my current philosophy is as follows. There is absolutely nothing that I could create that would draw as gloriously ridiculous a picture as the people who are listening to this song can see in their heads when I'm describing this person. Mind you, Kay, if you do show up with that costume, I will definitely, you will get called out on that, because if you hit all the check boxes, I'm still wondering if I can expand on this, but I think we may have actually hit homeostasis on this particular one, because I don't know that there's any more we can add that hasn't already been covered by other things. I mean, you know, there's Vikings, but I already got horns on him, and he's already got a big sword. It's very hard to put anything else on there. I mean, and runes? How do you put... I don't know. See, there you go. There we go. The next song that I want to do is a test. I do not guarantee that this will work. This is a song that I literally learned once again at the feet of the Jolly Beggar. Once upon a time, a long time ago, way back when, in the wilds of Northern California. And it is called Hunting the Hare. Now, I know that Tom knows this one. And it apparently is an old song. I have not actually done a lot of research on it. All I know is I really enjoyed it. And one of the things I really enjoyed about it is that it's a fairly busy song. But when the Jolly Beggars sang it, they had a tendency to speed up as the song went along. Now, this is important for two reasons. One, near the end of the third verse, Matthew, the tenor, the other blonde tenor with a mustache at Northern, who liked guys as opposed to myself, who liked girls, would just bail out of the rapid pattern, just I get yelled at. The interpreter, and they had interpreter for Jolly Beggar, would you'll I'll tell you the joke about. I'll tell you why it's funny to me about the interpreter when I get to the other side of this song. We're gonna see if we can make it happen. It has a surprisingly few chords for all of the musicality of the actual lyrics. Oh, the yelping of hounds. Yeah, oh, the yelping of hounds, the skelping along the corner and out at the back. Oh, the galloping, oh, the walloping, oh, the cry of the gone-away jack. Off like a feather, he floats on the heather, Blackberry calling the tune in his track. Spot and Spider and Beauty beside her, and then Red Rake and the rest of the pack. And now they've lost him, and now they're finding him, now they're winding him round by the stack. Hark the horn of the height, we follow him, cheer and holler and forward and back. Never a frisker, no brisker, whisker, or bustle, a brisker, younger old Jack. One more double into the stubble, and he's in trouble, and tossed by the pack. And Bay and Grey row away to the stable, and jovial hunters at table attack. And meat and munching, and oats were crunching, and bales were empty, and bubbles they crack. Here's to the master, no fair, and faster to steady, the raster to screw up the slack. Here's to the glasses that jingle with joy commingle, and here's to the pack. Yes, as Tom notes, the interpreter would have to keep up. And one of the things that happens when you have an interpreter and you learn sign, as the members of Jolly Beggar did, is they called her out on it, because at one point she's just signing dog and 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 dog, which I always thought was amusing. Now, that was not bad. I do think I hear another C in there. Oh, the yelping of hounds, the scalping. Yes! Oh, the yelping of hounds, the scalping along the corner, out at the back, and out at the back. Yeah, so that's actually going to be a C. I'm going to tune this some more. We will mess around with this more. And I think that this may be one we can keep as part of the package I like to think of as the Beggar's Legacy. And I do have Molly's permission to use that, because the Jolly Beggar was her group. And one day I will do more of this, I think. I'll tune this more. I'll make some notes here. Tune more. See, I'm hearing rumbling out there, and I know it's people. I know it's a ladder being dragged halfway across the north wall of our house. West wall? That's right. No, that's the south wall. If it's that way. If it's the one that faces out on the street there, it's the south wall. I think they're on the back. I'm fairly certain, because it's working its way past where I'm sitting and toward you. My wife Amy in another room. Yes. Welcome to our world. It is a strange one, and yet it is one we have come to call home. So, the next one is another one of the giddy, silly songs that I have written. I'm discovering that I'm doing a lot more bouncy songs, and I'm kind of happy with that. I've got bouncy songs, I've got driving beat songs, and all of them tend to be kind of doofy. This one is the SOS, the Sailing Orientation song, which I wrote earlier, which I wrote last month, almost a month ago. I think I completed on the 18th. I had to remember it. I have to make sure I can remember the actual way to sing it. So this is the Sailing Orientation song. Let me just make sure I'm still tuned. Once again, we are going sharp. Now, of course, once I take this outside, the strings can go in any direction whatsoever because they are nylon strings. Steel strings follow very specific rules. Nylon strings do whatever the heck they want. So, yeah. If you're going to go upon a ship, there's things you ought to know. For a sailing ship's a complex thing, so learn before you go. There's terms for everything, they do not make it very plain. And if you're not prepared, I fear you might just go insane. Now, if you're on a three-mast ship, the first mast is the fore. And counting back from there, you'll find that there are just two more. The one in the back is mizzen, so I guess it's plain to see that the other two upon the ships are just mast 2 and 3. Got it? Now the third mast on the middle is the mast they call a main. And if you're all confused by now, I beg you don't complain, for the captain is a stoic man, that's why he's at the stern, and he'll cast it to the poop deck if you are not quick to learn. Now a three-mast ship has many stars, there's not a one that's 3 foot long, don't take that matter hard. There's lots of ropes from boom to mast, each one is like all the line. Unless it's attached to a sail, then call that a sheet, it's fine. Now there are no privvies on a ship, they use something else instead. You see these gallant sailors all to go and prick up on their head. This doesn't change at all if it's a schooner or a sloop, except for the captain, he's still standing sternly on the poop. So now you all a little more of sailing than before, and while all this is gibberish, I don't think it's not a bore, for if you were all stuck at sea with nothing else to do, then I'm sure you'd make up goofy names for all of this stuff too. Yes, sure you'd make up goofy names for all of this stuff too. You'd probably make up sillier names for all of this stuff too. If they're talking, you know, that's red wall. Oh, Tom. Ah, I am happy that you are here to pick up the slack on the pun front. It's nice to not be the only one doing that. So that was an interesting storm pattern too. I think we'll do more of that. Well, I eventually add more rhythmic strumming to that as soon as I figure out a strumming pattern. As you may have noticed, a lot of the times when I start these songs, I just sing and sing and sing, and I always feel like that's really sparse, and I worry that it's too sparse. Now, if y'all don't think it's too sparse, please let me know. You know, I mean, Captain's Log is about as sparse as it gets, really. Oh, the name of the ship on which we sail is a jolly roving dog. That's, you know. Meanwhile, we have all these wonderful musicians who are just filling the space between the words with these lovely notes, and here I am, like, Hare, I know a few notes, har, har. Anyway, but having gotten through all of that, we come shockingly close to the moment you've all been waiting for, the final song in the set for this show 236 on the 13th of May, Thursday the 13th, so just missed it by that much. Put away the hockey mask, put away the big knife. Gotta wait. Sorry. There we go. I'm more than happy to give you something to interact with here, Tom. You know that it's one of the things we do. Especially because banter-based life forms such as ourselves just need that. Oh, thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Jen has far more experience with music than I do. Jen can play a penny whistle, like, well. You know, she can, like, do notes and bends and curves and twists and stuff like that, so it's always good. I appreciate feedback of any kind, because let's be honest, I really am not very good at this, and we are making this up as we go along. So, the last song is... I've already done this song this week, and I figured, what the heck, I'm going to do it again. Why? Because I enjoyed it, and because it was stuck in my head. See, this time we had two of the strings go flat on me right near the end there. But this is the song that I wrote, which I probably should have... I wrote with the intention that I wrote Troubadork Ballad, the most important person at the fair on. Yes, Tom, she does play the penny whistle well enough to charge a nickel. She can even get a dime out of it. Now, granted, sometimes it takes threats of violence, but it still counts. Which is the Songs of the Bard. Because I have been dubbed a bard by people who I'm still resisting their decision. I've even been dubbed a bard by a frickin' internet questionnaire. Not real sure I like that, but where we are. That's it. I've been told that because I write some tunes I might just be a bard. But writing songs is really fun, it's really not that hard. I call myself the Troubadork, that B word has me jarred. Because while I am not that guy, I've frequently been barred. Jolly sing-along chorus. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from the bars I have been barred. Hootenannies will not have me, nor will any open mic. I can do whatever song I want, but nowhere that I'd like. They want me to pay for my sins, but music should be free. And while I can play where I please, none are that pleased with me. I've been barred from pubs and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, from all the feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars I have been barred. I may be a humble poetaster, a poet not so good, but I like to write my little songs like any sane man would. But the people, when they hear my stuff, react with low regard, just because they say my music left them emotionally scarred. Yes, there's not a dry mouth in the house. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars I have been barred. So my friends, you now all know my tale, take pity on my plight. Some of us just need to sing our stuff and hope it comes out right. If you see your humble Troubadork, please do not run away, as I shamble through this world searching for somewhere I can play. Honestly, I'm just looking to try to cover a bus fare. I'm cheap. I've been barred from tips and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, oh yeah! I've been barred from tips and taverns, and barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, and I've been feathered and tarred, to make the matters worse, from all the bars. I have been barred. And so we come to the end of another chase down the rocky rapids of musicality, barely retaining our upright status, drenched, bruised, bewildered, battered, and oddly hungry at the end of yet another Troubadork non-commute pandemic reaction coping mechanism show, with people beating on the walls out there. Thank you for hanging out with me once again. An update, of course, to the schedule. We are going to a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday schedule starting next week, because I have enough crap that I have to do on Mondays to merit being in the office on Monday the whole dang day. We'll continue in this manner until such time as circumstances change some more. I am pitching my doofy little music show to all of the appropriate places within reasonable driving range. And we'll see. We shall see. All right, we live in a capitalistic society, so tip jars, there they are. Thank you to Alicia, Eric, Robert, Rick, Emily, and Miranda, and thank you to my Patreon patron pals, Jen, Joe, Alexi, Austin, Chris, Teppo, Shay, Linda, and Stephen Rob, Alicia, Early, BK, Richard, Brian, and Lorene, and my Patreon patrons past and future, whoever you may be, you know who you are. I don't. Anything that comes in will be spent towards making the show more technically sound. Generally, that means equipment, sometimes software, batteries for the tuners, spare tuners, because the tuners keep getting eaten by the legendary tuner Cabra, and stuff like that. Qualitatively, it's me. That's what you got to deal with, and that's all there is to that. We may actually also put some of this Patreon money towards some future projects of Troubadork, which will result in, like, you know, actual studio mixes. We will see as we go along. You can find me on the interwebs at theadequate.com. I am at theadequate on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, at Tobias theadequate on TikTok and Tumblr, soundcloud.com/Matthew-Laguerre as all my quote-unquote studio recorded stuff, unreallyvoices.com/product/artisanal gibberish. Yes, the Artisanal Gibberish book, Volume 1, is being re-released with a snazzy new cover. I assure you the red stains are jam. They're jam. It's jam. Just don't panic. On the 15th, we are having a book release event online a week from Saturday. And then we will have it out. It'll be out everywhere. If you go to that website down there, you will find links to all the places where you can buy both the hard copy and the ebook version. And yes, I'm doing an audiobook. It's one thing to do this stuff live, where if you fumble, that's just part of the fun. But if you're doing a studio recording of it, you gotta say the words right, man. THUD Bucket is, of course, death metal you can laugh at and is available on any music service with the word music in it, including Spotify. We have a THUD Bucket Facebook and a THUD Bucket YouTube page, and we have stuff on that as well. And that's enough out of me for a week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me once again. I am very happy that you are here, because people watching what I do actually makes it much easier to explain. Without you, what I do is very hard to justify. Those of you watching live and those of you who are watching in reruns, because I know I am big in syndication, thank you. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We will continue to do this. If you happen to be working an event in the San Antonio area or Austin or kind of make it up there to Waxahachie, but there's very specific circumstances for that right now, tell the people running it that you'd like to hear me, that you'd like me to come up and goof around with y'all, because it would be a lot of fun. Again, I'm mostly trying to make bus fare at this point. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be kind, be safe, be silly. And remember that no matter what else you do, no matter where you are there. And as long as you're here, I'm happy. So stick around, okay? Because you're important to this world. Without you in it, it would not be as interesting as it is now. I'm very serious about this. You've all been wonderful. I have been Tobias the Adequate, and I thank you for encouraging my behavior. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Aloha.